Welcome everyone to the TubeBuddy support live stream. Today with me and Stanley Orchard.
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing today?
How is everybody? That is a true question I want to know, because today's going to be an interesting one.
Oh, we're going to have some fun. I like this conversation that we're going to be having. And of course, if anybody has any questions, I love getting into that stuff deep.
Big time. Big time. And a little bit about today's stream is one, we're going to be talking about promoting, and primarily promoting in YouTube and how to take advantage of the platform. And also with that, we are showcasing a brand new feature called Suggested Shorts, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome, and it's a great way to just get ideas, start doing some stuff.
It sounds cool, like just the idea of it suggesting shorts, like what are you doing that works? And we have a tool that can suggest something to make things better. That sounds cool in and of itself. But the reality, like after you look at the tool and what it actually does, the reality of what you can do with that, I am totally sold on it. I've been playing with it for days.
Yeah, it's been interesting, and I'm going to be TubeBuddy Support's going to have some of those shorts up as well, based off of it. Just see what it, what kind of things it does, and everyone here can also see what it can do. And so, really quick hello to everybody. Hola, Adams, Nico, Bitan. Everybody that's here, God Farmer, good to see you again. Yes, this guitar is out because, I made a song. It's about TubeBuddy, sorta, but it's more about what's happening today. It's about promoting. And as promised, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sing something, and it's gonna be probably the worst thing you have ever heard or the best. So, really quick, while I lower that and start throwing in a little bit of, for this introduction for today's live stream here on TubeBuddy Support. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be a quick little short song because last time I talked about doing something challenging, something different, something out of your comfort zone, and here I am to prove to you that I am sticking to my word by doing something entirely out of my comfort zone right here on TubeBuddy. Make a short and then you'll see just how much promotion helps both you and me. Use them creatively. Promotion for all. Bring the people back to watch again. Promotion for all. Let us celebrate and earn the fame. Share with me artistically info cards and end screens, your greatest deeds. Please inspire me. Promotion for all. Bring the people back to sing again. Promotion for all. Let us celebrate and earn the fame. TubeBuddy for all. Bring the people back. Create again. TubeBuddy for you. TubeBuddy for us. Let's make the best videos ever made. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Oh God, why'd I say it? Why'd I say I was gonna do it?
Kudos, man.
But I did it.
I do expect to see this on Spotify immediately.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. It's all right. I will. I will do it. Let me put this guitar down really quick, and then we'll get started on talking about all the things like I said we would, about, well, promotion and how to use it on YouTube, starting with a little bit about end screens and info cards, like really how to use them. And I got 3 tips, but hang on, give me just a second. Let me move this out of the way. Let me get my nerves out of my system and put on some sweet, sweet, cozy, lovely music on the side, because we all love lo-fi. Anyways. All right. So, thanks everybody for dealing with that. Sorry about burning your ears. Hopefully it didn't burn too loudly there for you. But, all right. So, back to the whole thing. Besides promoting creatively and doing something different, for example, just did something, maybe make a short out of it. And one of those things that we're going to talk about are shorts. But first, end screens and cards. So there's a lot of different ways to use end screens and cards. But there have been a lot of bad ways of using end screens and cards. And so I got three tips about end screens and cards, because one of the ways to promote effectively, to really boost your channel, is to use end screens and cards. But there's ways to do it, and one of those ways is, which I know, Stanley, I know you'd agree with me on a lot of this, is keeping them relevant. Like, for example, we can have an end screen at the end or a card pop up, but if it's not relevant to the topic, if it's not relevant to your channel, if you're not linking them over to something that has something to do with whatever whatever that video is trying to kind of accomplish or solve or educate, it's kind of thrown them off. Or for example,
work.
Yeah, you throw in a card that's going to, a random product that might not have anything to do with what you're about, or a playlist. So for example, you could be a gaming channel, and you might be a variety gamer and you have different games. But if you're streaming, or let's say you have a video about a particular game, let's just say Dead by Daylight or something, or Forest, and then a card comes up, or even at the end screen, and you're linking them to like Call of Duty, and it's not really helping them stay. They might turn away, go somewhere else to look for more videos about that topic, which means missed opportunity. What do you think about that, Stanley? Does that make sense to you?
So this is all part of, I'm going to coin my own term. I was actually thinking about this like 20 minutes ago. I'm going to coin my own phrase for this, because I'm not trying to, I want to stop like utilizing everybody else's thing. But Brian G. Johnson calls this the view machine. And what you do is you turn one view into multiple views. And the way that you go about doing that is by getting that viewer who you've got them clicked on, and they are now watching your video. You need to now get them into the next video. It's not just about, you made a video, you got to click and they watched it. And now why am I not exploding? You're not exploding because if they move on, they moved on. You had your chance and then they skipped out on that. The view machine is all about taking that one view, and you want to lead this viewer into the next video, into the next view, into the rest of your catalog and your library. And these tools, end screens, cards, they are a fantastic way of going about doing that. The best thing in the world that you can do is make the entire process as easy as possible, as digestible as possible for the viewer. So when you have something that is happening in your video, and you tell the viewer, hey, if you need more information, like I'm going to do this certain activity, and it involves this thing that I'm using, this tool that I'm using right over here. But I can't get into that right now because I've already done a whole video on that. If you're interested in seeing this, if it's something that you need to see so that you can understand the rest of this better, then you need to check the link right up here to the card. I have a whole thing on that just for you. I've already done, ready to go. It's good. Same thing with the end screens at the end of the video. If you have like, hey, so we've gotten to this point in the process of this thing that we are doing, and there is more to be told. There is a whole next phase. Now that we have done this part, we need to move on to this other thing over here. I have a whole video that I made on that. If that's something that you need, click on this end screen element right here. Utilize these things are wonderful when you utilize them in the correct way, when you implement them intentionally. You include that call to action. You have a reason for having them in there. Yeah. Super valuable. But and something that also needs to be brought up. CJ's info brings up an excellent point. Cards should probably be placed wherever a person is about to click off, according to the analytics previous videos. That is an excellent point. If you post a video and 2 weeks down the road, you see that there's a big drop in retention at a certain point in a video, it is a clever move to go ahead and have a card prior to that, a couple seconds, maybe 8 seconds before the big drop off, so that you can try to retain some of that viewership. That's a great call. But the thing that you don't want to do, and this is way too common, way too many people do this, but if you make your video and it's done and you upload it to YouTube, and then you're like, okay, best practices say I got to throw in a card. So let's just, here's a link in a card, and we'll put it 7-minute. Yeah. That does nothing. That does nothing for anybody. Why on earth would anybody have any desire to go to that card, especially if it's something like merch or Patreon, or if it's like offsite, somebody sitting there and watching YouTube, and then all of a sudden another little ad thing pops up that's like, oh yeah, you could click on this thing if you want to spend money. Ain't happening. Yep. That's not how that works.
Yeah, and you're wasting their time. You're wasting, like, when you're making a video and you're putting it out there to help the viewer with whatever it is, whether it's entertainment, education, whatever you're giving, solving. In the same idea, when you post or add an element of a card or end screen, you're giving what extra value are you adding, and wasting their time is not good, because then they might not want to come back, or they'll lose trust in
lose faith.
Lose trust in the product, lose trust in the information, lose trust in you to kind of help guide them, and that's not going to be good. Again, it's missed opportunities, and that can negatively impact performance of your video, your channel, all of that. And the opposite side is that it will positively impact. It'll boost your channels. We've talked about before in Discord, and I'm sure several times in this stream, where you're creating this link. You're guiding viewers. You're funneling from one video to another. That network of taking them down your shop, your Blockbuster. Here's this. Now go check this one out. Now this one. Keep them going. That just means exponentially more views, more subscribers, more watch time, just by placing relevant cards and end screens.
I'm gonna see if I can look it up on. Well, keep going, but I'm gonna see if I can't look it up on my thing real quick here, on just my channel, throwing a dart, and see if I can't find what my viewership from cards and end screens is just alone.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the second way is to do this while you're looking at it. I'm gonna switch over to kind of share my screen really quick on this one, but it's essentially time and place. So now you got relevant stuff, but now it's a matter of timing. Where do you put that? And placement. Is it seamlessly transitioning with your content, with your video? Is it disrupting the flow? Is it on time? Is it off key? All these things, you feel it. You would feel, when you hear in a song, or like me, like I know there's some parts that wasn't exactly on time. And those that are musically inclined, have the ear, would notice. And in the same way, viewers will notice whether they think of it or not. They'll feel that disruption in the flow of a video if it's not at the right time. So when you are adding a card, it's about making sure you go into each video and really get that timing right. Put that relevant card at that moment in a way that it flows with the video. And also, same thing with end screens. And this is what I mean. When I switch over here really quick, I found this channel of this one person that just doesn't seem to know how to use end screens. So, you know, there's just an end screen that just shows up right in the middle of another video kind of happening in the background. So here, this is an example of some person that is essentially putting an element over something that isn't seamlessly being added. And also, so an example here of time and place. When we want to think about adding an end screen or even a card, we want to add that, make sure that it makes sense. It's seamless. So in this case, this doesn't really make sense. I mean, it kind of does, but there's a better way to do this because that distraction or this messiness might not be as great. It's the way you place it, the timing, all that. So what would be better would be to maybe clean it up, move that there, and add a playlist as a card in a different area to keep it moving, flowing, without kind of being out of place or anything like that. Being precise about timing and placement so it's seamless is important, and that means checking your videos. Go through each and every single one to make sure that it is on time. Every video is different, and every time something's gonna, not every song is the same. So sometimes those things will matter, and you don't want it to kind of become bland or anything like that.
A quick little thing on this, and I know every channel is different, but just looking at my statistics on my channel, something that I went and pulled the lifetime views for my channel, and for a while there I was doing Twitter. We did for a full year. We experimented with social media, and I stopped. It was not worth it. One of the reasons it's not worth it, let me, for as far as channel growth, it's great for engagement. I'm not knocking it. I don't like social media. So I am looking for a reason to not do it. It's great for engagement. So I'm not knocking it, but a lot of people are thinking they're going to do Instagram, they're going to do Twitter and Facebook and all of these platforms and TikTok, so that they can, repurpose their YouTube content and take some pictures. They're going to put it out there, and then people are going to subscribe to these social media accounts, and then they've got now 5 accounts that are all going to be growing viewers for the YouTube account, and it doesn't really work like that. So here's some statistics on that to let you know exactly what I'm talking about. So my Twitter, I grew a Twitter account to 1,000 subscribers in a year, and I think it was like 1,200 or something like that. And looking at my statistics for what Twitter gave me in views, that equaled about 0.07% of my views. 0.07%, less than 1%. 0.7% of a single percent of my views on my channel came from a social media account that had 1,200 subscribers to it. Okay, this is like I'm a 3,000-4,000 subscriber channel. Okay, so we're talking about a quarter of the number of subscribers that I have on YouTube. I have a quarter of that on Twitter. That was responsible for 0.07% of my views. Now check this out. The other thing that I noticed, right off the bat, because I'm looking up my stats on end screens and cards, 0.8% of my views came from end screens and cards.
Wow.
Oh, so the thought on that is like, okay, so it's just 0.8 views. It's not that much. It adds up, and there's other things that you need to do. There are other variables that come into play with this. But think about that, like seriously, for a second. I busted my butt on Twitter for a year. I hit it hard, and I grew that account to 1,200 subscribers, members, whatever they call them, followers. And I got more views just putting in cards and end screens.
Right.
Way less work than what I put into Twitter and social media. I got more views from
I believe that. And
you do that by being intentional. You do it right. You don't just throw it up there. You don't just throw up the end screens because it's like, hey, YouTube tells you to do it. You put it in there. I just took you on this magical adventure. I just showed you this thing that you were specifically looking to. You wanted information on this. I got it for you. Here's the information. You watch the video, but there's another part. There's another thing coming up. You need to check that. That's in this video right here. You need to see that next part.
Exactly. And that's the thing about, with kind of all of these tips, really, it's like you want it to be relevant. You don't want to waste their time. Timing and placement, because you don't want to, again, disrupt the flow of it. And at the same time, you don't want it to appear in places that they shouldn't be, or appear distracting, because then that disruptive element or that negative feeling can easily mean just moving elsewhere, going elsewhere. And again, everything leading to missed opportunity.
Hey, I got to say something real quick. I apologize for interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
Goth farmer, you're dropping bombs over here. Anybody who mentions session time, if anybody knows what that goth farmer is referring to it, that is next level information right there. Session time is greater than watch time. What that is, for anybody who doesn't know, I just want to give that goth farmer a big pat on the back for that one. Also, following it up with Me Too, I don't like social media. Right here. Session time, so we're talking about watch time, right? That's the metric that you watch. That's one of the big metrics, if not the big metric, that you can utilize to judge the quality of your video, how well it's performing. You judge it. Everybody here is trying to get watch time for their video, So if you have a 10-minute video and you can get somebody to watch 8 minutes, that's 80% view duration, and that's excellent. That is how, YouTube will see that, and they're like, okay, this thing needs to go viral because they're watching 80% of it. This is obviously valuable. People are enjoying it. We need to share it to more people because we want that kind of retention on our videos. What can happen is, and YouTube doesn't show you this, but it absolutely exists. And this is how virality happens. If that 10-minute video has an 8-minute average view duration, then at like the 7-minute 55-second mark, you want to have a card, hypothetically, you would want that card to be like, hey, you need to check out this card thing right here. If I've already delivered on the value proposition and you're ready to click off the 8-minute mark, check out this card because something, I'm going to lead them on to the next thing. What session time is if that 10-minute video leads a viewer into another 10-minute video and they watch 8 minutes of that, then that first video gets credit for 16 minutes of studio time. The viewer spent 16 minutes watching videos as a result of your 10-minute video that only had 8 minutes of watch time. That's what studio time is. And that is where cards and end screens and pinned comments, that is where all of that stuff really comes into play, because that is how you take that one view, you turn it into multiple views, you increase your studio watch time, not a metric that you're shown, but you know that you can create that using these elements if you do it right. And that's where virality happens, is when you get that studio watch time level.
That's excellent. That is
that's next level.
That is next level, and holy moly, so valuable and really necessary, and all still part of this, kind of framework that we're building out with promoting within YouTube. Like you're creating this framework, this back to the whole Blockbuster thing, you're giving them everything they need to keep rolling all over the place, seamlessly. And if you want that you want that subscriber base, that loyalty, it's, paint them a nice road, guide them along into something nice. And so like with that, yeah, we have great people. I love our community.
Oh, so do I.
Full of information.
It's it's like I love it in Discord. Everybody has insight, great conversations. I'm learning a lot from the things that are being brought up in there. I love it. And they're like, I'm involved in some outdoors communities. I'm involved in, some other communities around the whole YouTube thing. And dude, some of these can get so toxic. And I love that I can always come back here when I'm at work and everything's cool. Nice
and chill right here on TubeBuddy Support.
Easy.
Talking to you about growing your channel right here on YouTube. Anyways, all right. The next piece out of end screen. So, out of end screen and info cards is use them sparingly. Because back to the whole thing, we don't want to disrupt, we don't want to annoy anybody. And, it could be easy to like, oh, well, I'm talking about this. So I'm going to, Josh said this and Stanley said this. I'm going to throw this here and throw that there and here and there and there. Now there's 4 or 5 elements on my end screens. And then I got an info card here and a card here and a card here. It's bombardment. It's information overload. We don't want that. Information overload can be daunting, and we don't want to steer them away.
I have done this, so I know. So this is the thing, especially it's when you're not necessarily first starting off, but like one of the things that you do for like probably, I don't know, your first 150 videos or something like that. So you're getting your feet wet and you are like excited. You want to be a YouTuber. You want to do this. You want to do this thing. You're so excited and you're into it and you're just like, hitting the ground running. And you've seen so many YouTubers and you want to emulate them. You want to, you want their subscriber count. You want to do like what that guy did. That's cool what he's doing. I want to do the same thing. I started the same way. I totally feel you on that. I know everybody here felt the same way, at least at some point. But what happens as a part of that is you're emulating these people that you've seen. And so what you start off with, like, today in this video, we're going to do this thing that I've already explained to you in the thumbnail and the title, but I'm going to talk to you about it anyway, because I really don't know what else to say here to introduce this. We talked about this in the Discord stream yesterday. And one of the other things that people do is you do the, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an opportunity to whatever the case may be. And hey, check out the card over here. Also, we have end screens, and that's what Josh is talking about. Like you end up following so many of these different things, these fun toys that YouTube gives you, and you're emulating these other guys and saying the things that you know are necessary. You've been told to have these CTAs. But yeah, viewer fatigue is for real. You do not want to, remember there's a purpose of the video and it's for the viewer. And you want to be, like Josh said, you want to be sparing with how you use that stuff. Don't overdo it.
Yeah, big time. Because, tools like end screens and cards and shorts, we'll talk about that in a second. These tools are there to increase engagement. That's kind of the point. Increase engagement, promote your channel on YouTube. And by adding so many things, or by throwing in irrelevant ones, or the timing is off, everything, now it's disengaging the viewer.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it shoos them away
entirely. So these kind of ways, and this is what we want to steer away from, is creating end screens and info cards that are disengaging viewers. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna help. So this is a more effective way to do that. And and using sparingly is much, at the very least, better than not using them at all. Even if you just have one, be choosy about that one good one. Make sure it is relevant. Make sure it's timed. Make sure it's placed right. Make sure it's seamless and not a million times or in the same exact spot every single time over and over and over, because then it's like you're creating this almost annoyance of like you're expecting, oh, it's going to show up here again. It gets in the way.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
It's Surviving Jay says, my latest videos, I've got rid of all CTA just to see the performance. That's a great thing to do, to create a benchmark to test against. I love that. And I was thinking about that the other day. Josh, actually, I got a couple things to talk to you about off camera. But I was thinking about, over the years, I've had a couple of different concepts for YouTube channel ideas that I was curious about doing, but I never followed through because I'm very hesitant to jump in on a second channel, knowing the workload that would be required for that.
Oh yeah,
right now, yeah, I wouldn't wish that on like my worst enemy. You know, it's hard enough just doing one, but I was thinking about it yesterday. I had this concept for a channel, and I'm like, man, this is a good one. This is something that this could be a thing. And I was kind of like mulling over in my head, like how I would make this thing work. And one of the things that I was thinking about with this, and I would do this with probably any YouTube channel that I start in 2023. And I may even switch over to doing this for my current YouTube channel. It's a gamble. I don't know that I'll do this with my current one, but if I were to start a YouTube channel in 2023, I would take a deep breath and I would get to 1,000 subscribers as best as I could. But I would probably start day one with a genuine CTA of like, do not subscribe. I am not going to be asking you to subscribe in every video. I'm tired of hearing it. I know you're tired of hearing it. So this is what I want. I want 1,000 subscribers. Join me if you want to go against me, because for the rest of my life, I'm going to tell you not to subscribe. I do not want the subscriber counts. I'm going to buck the system. I want 25 million views on 1,000 subscribers. I want to be that channel. You know what I mean? Not to say that's the best approach for anybody, but think about that mindset on that. You know, you can definitely do it, and you really don't need them. It's a vanity metric.
Yeah, and you really, I like it. I like it a lot because I think psychologically you're putting yourself in a position where you're more focused on the quality of the content. You're not focused on the numbers game.
Yeah,
and because that's what we're about. Right? That's the point, really, is what, you know, crafting something that you're proud of and that is, you know, other people like, that is out there for them, instead of just, you know, cranking out whatever and anything. It really changes that kind of focus. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. And again, also, like you said, you know, every channel, every piece of content, audience, whatever it is, can be different, but in general, I think that's a great way to start, especially if you haven't kind of focused in that way. If you haven't already been working on storytelling skills and video editing skills and all of these, you know,
providing value in general.
Yeah, definitely a much better place to start. And I think it has a higher chance of success because quality is good. It's just going to happen. It'll just be inevitable. The more you do it. Love it. I think it's great. I'm going to take that one. Actually, I'm going to store that away in my little journal as I remind myself, like, what am I doing with my life? Oh yes.
Yeah. I ask myself that like once a day. Every day after I go, and I love what I do. I absolutely love every single aspect of what I do. I still end my day at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, mind you. Like I'm up at 6 a.m. I'm done at 10 p.m. Okay. Like this is harder. Everything that we do here is harder than, or not harder. I'm going to say it's like when you're 100% in on these projects, whatever it be, whether it be YouTube or you're starting a business, you know, brick and mortar, whatever the case may be, you're going to work harder than you would if you worked for someone else. Just be ready for that. And every single day when I go to bed, like I have a glass of whiskey and I question my life's decisions. I wake up happy and I'm ready to go in the morning, but I question my life's decisions every night.
I know the feel. All right. So like with that, let's talk about shorts, because shorts is another way to promote in YouTube. You know, we got all these things and we've seen, and we know that end screens and info cards, they really do boost your channels. Use them, and use them correctly, use them effectively, with these things in mind. And one of those other ways, aside from that, is shorts. Especially with all the hubbub about shorts lately, and just the amount of effort that YouTube is putting into crafting this framework around shorts. It's definitely something to take advantage of. So with that, TubeBuddy has produced a new feature called Suggested Shorts. And the Suggested Shorts is essentially looking at your videos, finding where the retention is. You got some spikes, you got people coming back, some good popular moments. It tells you what that looks like so that you can decide, hey, maybe I can remix this. Maybe I can take that content, make something fresh out of that content, maybe cut that. It's up to you. It's up to your audience, up to your niche, all that. And so let's take a look at it really quick. Moving over to this same person's, this weirdo's video, everyone knows I'm talking about myself, is essentially, you could go through your videos and be like, okay, I'm thinking of making a short, and TubeBuddy support, we don't really have any shorts on there, so I'm going to start putting on some shorts. I'm going to play with this stuff. And on the right side, you're going to find suggested shorts in your toolbox. Make sure to click the little tab on the right, toolbox, suggested shorts. And
if you don't see that tab, by the way, hit refresh.
Yeah.
For some users, you might just have to refresh the screen.
Definitely. And that kind of goes along in some other areas. Sometimes there are some hiccups or other extensions that come to play, create some weird kind of conflicts. But if it ever happens, yeah, exactly. Just hit that F5 button or refresh, Control R, all the hotkeys that you know of, and it'll be right there. And then as you're in a video, in the video details page on the right side, suggested shorts will show up. And you see pretty much, hey, this is, shorts can be a powerful way to reach a broader audience. Promotion! And here's this video that we're already on. It's going to take you straight to that one. And we'll give you some insight. It's telling us here at 2 minutes and 5 seconds to 2:20, there's a 24.82% retention increase. And what I can do is just click play, and it'll take you straight to that part of the video where you can rewatch and decide, okay, maybe it was. I wonder why. Perhaps there was something interesting in here, and I can determine what about that part was fascinating. And so from here, there's something else, is if you click on this retention increase, it'll take you to that part, or it'll take you to the graph so you can kind of get a better understanding of what exactly was going on. So then I can decide, okay, maybe I'm not sure if this might be one of the best ones. Why don't I go back, and now at the bottom, you see suggestions from other videos. You'll be able to see other stuff here, like, okay, what about this video? This had 108.75% retention increase. Maybe I should check this out. And in same respect, I can click and see what might have been going on here, and possibly this whole wizard thing that I was doing maybe kind of won the ticket here. And I can click on that retention piece there and dig around, and yeah, it looks like this is where that little bump was. And I'm like, okay, pretty interesting. Maybe I should do a whole short about me in this filter with this hat, wiggling the Harry Potter wand that I have, being silly. This could be something I do, or, if you're looking at some of your stuff and don't have a lot of time, you can just maybe go back to the video, cut it, turn it into a short, upload it, see how it does. So pretty cool with suggested shorts. It's pretty simple too. with what you can do as far as just gaining insight so that you can start making shorts and keep promoting. And with that, with kind of promoting shorts, there's something about that I think we should talk about as well, which essentially is, how do you use shorts? What kind of shorts do you do? You know, it could be different for everybody. For example, you know, kind of coming back to us, Stanley, we've talked about shorts before, and one of the ways that I think you mentioned that you like to use shorts is as a trailer, creating a short as a trailer for any of your upcoming videos, which is definitely a great way to promote something that's coming up, or promoting, maybe a video that's already been released. And then there's, taking something like suggested shorts and reusing some of that content to help funnel people back to the main actual video. So it's still kind of a trailer, but not fully a trailer. Still a way to connect to your content, connect the audience, and instead of trying to go one by one through all your videos, now you got suggested shorts to help you cut down on all that research time and see what might be worth exploring and experimenting. Do you still use shorts for trailers? Like, how do you plan to use suggested shorts in this manner to promote and boost your own channel, Stanley?
For one, I'm going to look very I'm going to be very introspective on this. I'm going to look at, I'm looking at the suggested shorts thing on my channel right now. And I have a recent video that I put out, and it's an underperformer. The retention on this video is doing really, really good. It's above average for what I expect to see on my channel, but the CTR is just not there. I am not getting the click-through rate. And it's funny because I thought I had this great thumbnail. It was red and everybody else's is blue. I've got all the fish on there, just like everybody else does, but there's just something about it that's not working. So I'm moving over now. I'm testing thumbnails. And so I've spent all this time worrying about that. And now I'm looking at the suggested shorts because I haven't looked at it for this new video I posted. And I'm looking at it now. And I'm I have a section of this video that has 102% retention. Ooh. What is I am going to let the suggested shorts tell me, I'm kind of going to let it dictate my how I go forward with shorts, at least as an experiment. I'm going to see what is causing that kind of retention, and I'm going to refilm that, or I'm going to take the footage from that section, and I'm going to create something entirely new and more dedicated than what this was, and intentionally make that a shorts video. But if this is me talking about something, that's not something that I do in my shorts. I don't use my shorts where I'm hey, let me show you this quick little thing about what we do. I do fishing stuff, outdoors channel, fishing channel. So typically my shorts videos are if I catch a really cool looking fish, or if it's a really pretty day out at the beach, something along those lines, a sunset at the beach. I take that photography and I put that into, or that videography, and put that into my shorts videos. But and that's probably, that's the direction that I go with. But if this is telling me that maybe a talking head section where I'm hey, so, we're catching all this fish, but actually it's this kind of bait that I'm using. That's what's so different from everybody else and why I'm able to catch what I'm able to catch. If it's a section like that is garnering that kind of retention, I'm going to let this kind of dictate my move for future shorts. My next probably 3 or 4 shorts, because you don't test with 1, test with 3 or 4 or 5, test with 10, and then use the group sample of that to see what is actually working, and what portion of this. There's going to be multiple aspects. Is it pretty photography? Is it some educational thing? I don't know, but I'm going to break that 15 seconds that they're recommending for me. I am going to break that apart and take a very deep look into that, and let it dictate what I do with my shorts going forward. Normally, I do use them as trailers for my videos. I make a video, I post it every Sunday, and I'll probably put out 2 or 3 shorts prior to that. They're little teasers, or maybe there's parts of the video that hit the cutting room floor that I wasn't able to fit into the video, just didn't work or something. I love putting that kind of stuff in those shorts.
Interesting.
So here's a thought on that too, and I'm sorry for waxing on, but this is something I experienced the other day that I'm going to start doing that I really, really loved. So I did this whole series that I just finished where I went down to Cozumel and I did a whole vlog series down in Cozumel. And so for the first time, like it's its own playlist. It was like 6-7 videos. And to kind of help promote that playlist and those videos, I made some shorts. I made little trailers. And I had fun with it. It was really pretty videography, you know, like sunsets and underwater and all this cool stuff. But there wasn't like a lot of sections where I'm talking about stuff. The ones that I had recorded went into the main videos. So I made these shorts, but I did it where I took like a really pretty sunset and I put a really popular song to it for 15 seconds. You know, just a song that was very befitting of the mood. And I did several of these in between each video. Well, now then I went back and watched that playlist, and I have those shorts videos in between the long form content in that playlist. And what I never even considered that was really, really cool is you can watch that playlist, and if you watch them in order, you're like, you have this video, and then it's like you have this little commercial that kind of pops up for like the next video you're about to watch. Maybe it's a behind the scenes thing. It's a fun little thing. It breaks up that content. Now, like that whole playlist is a little bit more consumable because it's not like you have 6 20-minute videos. It's like you have a 20-minute video and then you have these 3 fun, quick little petite morsels that you can kind of digest before diving into the next long one. Man, the breakup on that, I just thought was like, wow, this playlist is so much easier and so much more fun to watch now that I'm using these shorts videos to kind of break things up a little bit.
Definitely. That's an interesting way to do it too. If anything, talking about unique ways of creating shorts, and definitely creatively to kind of help enhance and help I'm really taking a lot of that. I love the idea with just like pieces that may not have fit into the video, but little extra snippets here and there. Pretty cool idea, and I like it. So these shorts, so for our channel, TubeBuddy support, adding shorts, this is going to be an experiment. I'm going to be using some of those suggested shorts, kind of utilizing some of that and see what I can do to create new content on certain pieces like that and see what happens. For everyone else, same thing. Check it out, use it, see what kind of ideas you come up with when it comes to shorts, but know that shorts is a way to promote on YouTube. So be creative as well, and take some of the insights that are there, that you get from it, to craft something that is already kind of working for you. And that also means that this is in beta. So that means we're learning a lot from it too, from TubeBuddy's perspective, and making it better, finding ways to improve it, seeing what happens, because technology is technology, and also things are always changing. And ultimately, in order to kind of provide the most value, we're finding out from you, like, what is the thing? What is the main thing? And one of those main things lately have been everything around shorts. And because it is definitely here to stay, and it is doing quite a bit for quite a lot of creators. So we want to keep staying on that. So a little bit about suggested shorts is that right now every user is going to have this. However, if you're only on the free license, you're going to have it for a limited amount of time. And I think you have about 5 trial usages. After that, if you are on a pay, like pro and up, you'll be able to use it over and over again. By the way, there's a link to 25% off in the description. So use it if you want to do that. Otherwise, give it a try. And also, when it comes to, here's some real TubeBuddy support here. Here's some really technical support, is that sometimes different browsers have different experiences. Right now, what we know, Google Chrome is going to be the one that has the latest. And it does work on Firefox, it does work on Microsoft Edge, but sometimes you might need to either maybe manually uninstall it, reinstall it, or even then, sometimes it might latest features, latest things won't propagate into that platform for a couple extra days or something. So that could be a thing. If you don't see it, or there's something weird about it, try on Google Chrome for a while, and give it some time for everything else to catch up. That way you're on the same page and can see. If not, let us know at support@TubeBuddy.com. We'll try to figure out what's going on. We want you to use it. We want you to try it. We want you to promote your stuff. And, we want to hear more about how suggested shorts are helping you. I'm going to be talking about how suggested shorts are going to be helping me. Hopefully you can hear a lot more about how it's working with you, Stanley. This is pretty exciting. So there's a lot going on. There's a bunch of stuff out there. So we're moving as fast as we can on all the bits, and we'll do our best with providing value, not just on YouTube, but as you're creating stuff. So yeah, that is suggested shorts, a little bit of info about it. And I think as we get more information about it, we'll be sharing more. You can join us on Discord to, talk with other creators that are using it. Let's keep that conversation, keep the flow going, and see what we can get from there. We are pretty much at time, getting close to it. So I want to kind of just give the last few minutes to pretty much, say thanks, Stanley, for joining me. As always, dropping info. Goth Farmer, same thing. So many people, so many others that are here. Everyone's sharing information. We're learning this together. We're here to figure it out together. If anything, quick reiterating, tools on YouTube are there to help you or help your viewers engage with your content. So utilize them and utilize them effectively in the ways that we talked about. And if you have other ways of using it effectively or other ideas, unique ways, Stanley had some unique ways of doing stuff. Everyone has unique ways of doing stuff.
I promise I'm going to be playing with some weird stuff. I guarantee. If there's a weird way to use shorts, I will do it. If I could break shorts, I would break shorts.
Let's get weird. Absolutely.
Yeah. And guys, you mentioned it. If you have any questions at all, and if you think that in the future you may ever have any questions, maybe you need a shoulder to cry on, or you want some insight or anything like that, come on over to the Discord. Come hang out with us. Come have a good time. It's a great community, and we have some wonderful conversations in there. You need to be a part of that.
Definitely. And actually, Surviving Jay, I like your chat there. Devs roll out new features instead of removing or fixing broken ones. I get you. I feel it. I know. But just to give you some transparency, we've been putting together a team that is going to be focusing a lot on some of the bugs that have been out there. We're organizing. We're growing. That comes with growing pains, and there's a lot of attention coming to a lot of that stuff. So it's all coming together nicely, smoothly.
Yeah, well said.
Kathleen has been in it. I've been in it. A lot of us have been in the weeds. But what's been really cool is that to see our teams kind of get together and start working on a lot of the things that we want to fix. And especially when it comes to user experience and making sure that you're having a good time with TubeBuddy too. So I hear you. I feel you. And we're on it. Anyways, thanks again, everybody. Also for your ears. Appreciate it. We're going to keep having fun. We're going to keep learning. And next Thursday, we're going to keep the tutorial series going on with some more just advanced reporting, advanced tricks, and stuff to do with TubeBuddy. Maybe a little bit more on suggested shorts. And of course, you know what's going on Discord Wednesdays, streams there. So if you want to get more info, join our Discord.
We'll be getting there. Josh in on that too. Forgot to tell you that part, Josh, but don't worry about it. I'll let you know.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Nice.
But yeah, so you know all the things. There's so much stuff going on. There's latest video on TubeBuddy support. If you don't know much about tag ranking and how that works, check that video out. I should have. Here's an example of another way to promote is add your latest video links in your description. I should do that. So I'm going to go do that.
Comment.
And also to Wise Guy, I don't think it's not the full username, but it's something like that. Call out of me. I'm very bad at adding chapters to my live streams. If you do live streams, add chapters to your live streams. It could be daunting. We have an hour or two, but just do it. You have an outline. So I'm gonna go do that. We're gonna do that. What were you saying, Stanley?
I was just going to say, so are we, I want to do one thing, but I want to do it when we close this thing. Are we closing this thing down? Are we good with all the information we need to give?
That's the information that we need to give.
Then if you are watching this in the replay, you need to take advantage of this opportunity we're going to give you right now. We're going to put an end screen element right over my face that is going to take you to a video that is going to give you information about exactly what we talked about today, a little bit more detailed that Josh has for you. And of course, there's going to be another video right down here. Google thinks you'll like that one. Take advantage of it. Check it out. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel. And thank you so much for watching today. We will catch you in the next video.
Love it. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Keep on creating. Bye-bye. See you later.